Hello, Moltrap here. Another audio commentary. This is a match between Kwanro and Light, and very much looking forward to this because I've been trying to keep an eye on Kwanro lately. He's been kind of the upcoming quote-unquote aggressive Zerg player, and a lot of people are, kind of looking to him to be the next big Zerg, perhaps. He has a very, very aggressive style. He has this kind of Muto Ling thing. He's very, very, very good at micro management, and he's very fun to watch because of that. A lot of the time, Light though has been performing really well lately. I wouldn't quite put him at the top tier of Terran players, but he's basically he's definitely the just below the top tier. Um, maybe in this Star League he'll prove me wrong though, or in the Pro League he's been doing very well as well. Anyways, I was actually talking with Diggity about this match, and what Diggity was saying, and he has a good point, is that Kwanro is very aggressive, but oftentimes he doesn't adapt very much. He doesn't um, change his strategy depending on what's going on. He just kind of barrels into the enemy, and regardless of what they're doing. And so sometimes if a player bunkers in, it just lets Kwanro throw his troops onto him. Then it's bad for Kwanro in the long run. And Light is a very safe player. He's a kind of a defensive player a lot of the time. So and we see here that Light is in fact moving to block off his door. So that's just the kind of thing that will go against Kwanro. Personally, though, I think that on this map, it's hard. I mean, you can block off your main door, but you can't get the secondary, your expansion, your natural expansion is extremely hard to wall off and and hold in the same way. So I'm not sure in the long run that that's going to help Light very much, being able to wall off his door there. Personally, I'm calling. Excuse me. Personally, I'm calling Kwanro to win this one. If you didn't see the last game, Light did have a map where he could wall off his choke, and I mean he had a ramp and a choke as well, and Kwanro basically just kind of pushed him back into the. It was beautiful to watch. Kwanro just kind of just through sheer aggression and micromanagement tactics, just forcing Light slowly and steadily back into his base. And Light, I have to say though, putting up an extremely good fight. It was a really fun match to watch because Light did not give up, and he just kept pushing out and pushing out. And Light going for a bunker rush here. Interestingly, it may have just been a feint. Kwanro coming out with a ton of drones, and because of that tiny choke there, Kwanro was easily going to be able to hold that off. That was kind of I think that was probably just kind of an attempt to distract there. He was hoping for something there because he is going for his tech. He wasn't going for mass marines there by getting a couple bunker barracks. He was just wow, that was kind of ballsy by Light. So here we have Light, who's supposedly a safe player. Oh, Light's going for a float, a factory float here. This is gonna be interesting. Kwanro usually has this three hatch build where he gets for a lot of hatcheries and economy first, and then switches to units. And Kwanro is probably going to go in there and scout Light's base a little bit and see that he doesn't have a lot of Marines there, and that he's bunkered in, so he's not going to expect Light to move out. So in response, Kwanro is going to do as usual. If the enemy isn't building up units, Kwanro goes for econ. But in this case, Light is building a factory, and he's going to build it on that ridge and float it over and start building. Oh, Kwanro's going to scout it, though, here. Kwanro's Overlord heading up that direction, probably just to be in place. He's going to see that factory, so Kwanro is going to be able to be prepared for it after all. Light looking disappointed there, you can see, because, yeah, oh, they just put a couple links over there just to make it so that he can't land that factory. So that's very, whether you want to call it a good move on Kwanro by sending that Overlord over there. I have a feeling he may have been just sending it up there just to scout for future drops and what have you, but he may have been sending it up there for that reason. Well, in any case, unlucky on Light's part having that spotted out, so he's not going to be able to float that in. Otherwise, he would have been able to just send vultures in there and tear up Kwanro's economy, which is what he had going for him. Interestingly, Light going now for 2 starports So Light is going to go for mass wraiths, it looks like. And Kwanro is going to have to put something down here. Light moving out with his few Marines, but he was not going for Medic Marines, interestingly. He went straight for those wraiths. I think that Kwanro might have scouted that, though, because we saw him putting up a Hydralisk Den. Either he saw that or he's just psychic. That factory is gonna. Okay, no, he has those lings underneath it. So we actually, I think we saw Savior pull this trick on Hitchhiker, using units to put underneath that factory so it can't land, so that the float would not work at all. So that's basically what Kwanro is doing there, and the factory does land. For some reason, Kwanro let it land. Maybe he was distracted at his front there. Kwanro with his speedlings, and that's the kind of micro that we expect to see out of Kwanro, using those speedlings to, and he's basically moving lings around. If a vulture comes out, he's going to surround it and just kind of rape it before it can get away. That's going to be the key. Oh, and it can get away. It came out on the side, and it is able to get away, but those speedlings are going to be able to catch up with it, though. If they were not speed upgraded, then that would have been very bad for Kwanro. He would have lost some drones to that there. But he does have those speed upgrade lings. He is able to take care of that. Like I said, he does have a Hydralisk Den, which is interesting. I don't know if he saw that or what. There are wraiths now in Kwanro's base. Interestingly, he's going for drones instead of overlords. Wait, I could have sworn I saw a den. Okay, maybe he canceled the den and went straight for a spire. So it's very confusing to me. Kwanro, in the meantime, all up in Light's base, and Light has just sent all of the units. He's spent all of his money on that tech, so he has no units now. And this is basically a battle to see who can tear up the other one first. Light trying to micro his vulture around, but he now has nothing inside of his base. Nothing. Trying to research cloak, but Kwanro is going to be able to take down that control tower before that cloak is made. And this is looking very bad for Light, because now Kwanro has those Mutalisks out, so he has something to deal with the wraiths. But Kwanro is in his base destroying all of his SCVs, and the wraiths come back, and the wraiths are going to be able to pick off those lings before they do much damage. So we're seeing a very interesting game here, by the way. Very exciting game. Light loses a ton of SCVs. Light does not have that many SCVs left. He's going for that control tower again, because he knows that now that there's Mutalisks around, that Cloak is going to be the only thing he's going to be able to use those raids for. And now that he's invested so much in those raids, he can't really afford to switch tactics again here. Well, he could if he wanted, I guess. But more vultures coming out in Kwanro's base. That factory is going to burn down now. So